Hey YouTube friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is LaDonna. I'm a homeschooling mom of two, and on my channel I just like to share what we are learning, how we are growing, and what God is doing in our lives. Okay, I'm really excited about today's video because I will be sharing with you our curriculum picks for my rising 8th grader. That just sounds bananas saying it out loud. When I planned my son's 7th grade year, I did plan it with 8th grade in mind. You will be seeing extra electives this year just because he's an 8th grader and I want to pace him for 9th grade. And just to throw in there, I have not planned out 9th grade at all. My goal here was to give him a strong finish to his middle school year to prepare him for whatever the Lord has for him in 9th grade and beyond. So let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, we are going to start with English language arts. I have grammar and writing and spelling and literature right here. I'm going to go through it one by one. But the very first thing I have for you is Fix It Grammar. This is the level 4 book. I believe, yeah, this is the student book. This is the teacher's manual. He completed level 3 in 7th grade. This is Mowgli and Shere Khan. We loved it. It worked really, really well for my son and our homeschool, and we are just going to continue on with it in 8th grade. Okay, now for writing. So what I have right here is writing lessons in structure and style from IEW. So this is the student book, this is the teacher's manual. If you know anything about this writing curriculum, this does not have videos. The reason why I was okay with supporting him in this decision is because he has gone through the structure and style video lessons. And after looking through this format and the concepts, they're very similar to the setup in the structure and style notebook. So I am confident he is going to be just fine with this. I'm also really excited he's going to be reading the first 3 books from the Chronicles of Narnia. Okay, let's talk about spelling. He did complete a spelling program for 7th grade. I had no intentions of continuing the same spelling program for 8th grade. However, when I looked into the workbook that would be following the workbook he completed for his 7th grade year, I said absolutely. So my 7th grader has been working through the spelling workout for 7th grade. Now this is the, what is this, level H? But the reason why I purchased this is because yes, it is a spelling workbook and it is laid out just like the 7th grade workbook is. The 8th grade workbook is more of a word study. So there's more of a focus on the Latin roots and the word origins in this notebook, and I'm super excited about that. This is the table of contents. There are also numerous opportunities for word application, dictionary skills, and vocabulary development. I think that this has been a fantastic fit for my son, so I don't think he's going to have any problem with moving on with it in the 8th grade. Okay, let's talk about literature. For 7th grade, I did not purchase a separate literature curriculum for my son. Now, he did do a literature curriculum in 6th grade. However, when we got to 7th grade and I realized how heavy of a load he was going to have for writing, I decided not to put anything else in his lap. Now, he did read on his own per se, but he did not have anything that really focused on literature and literary elements. I wanted to bring that back in for 8th grade. What I have right here are 2 cover pages from the literature program that we have been doing right now. This is by Redefining School. It is her middle school literature survey, and this is her spring sampler. So this is the first page for the first 4 weeks, and the students learned all about Langston Hughes. And this is the first page for the month of May. The students are currently learning about Edgar Allan Poe. So I have been thoroughly impressed with the sampler program. I don't know if you know anything about Redefining School. You can check her out over at Instagram. She's been around now, I think maybe 2 years, 3 years. Don't quote me there. And she offers a spring sampler. It is an 8-week course for about $35. So we will be continuing on with this in 8th grade. One of the really cool things, if you purchase the spring sampler, she gives you early access to signing up to the class before they fill up for the upcoming academic year. Okay, moving on. What I want to share with you is just some enrichment. I went ahead and picked this up because as you can see, I don't really have any vocabulary. We normally do a wordly wise, but we've just decided not to move on with that. And I really don't have any kind of reading comprehension for him this year. So what I decided to do was to pick up 2 book studies. So I have the workbook right here and I have the actual book here. This is from The Good and the Beautiful. And then I have Wild Like the Foxes. My plan is, Lord willing, is to have him work on 1 per semester. Now these workbooks cover writing, spelling, grammar usage, and punctuation, geography, literature, handwriting, and art. Now obviously I'm going to have him read the book and go through the questions, but if we come to something like spelling that he wants to skip, I'm going to be totally okay with that. I have looked through this and I have been impressed with the vocabulary. If you know anything about The Good and the Beautiful, they're really big on homophones and handwriting and editing, and it's all themed according to the book that they are reading. So I think that this is going to be a really great way for me to just enrich his 8th grade year. Okay, the next thing I want to share with you, and I don't have anything to share with you, I will try to put up some type of graphic right here, is his math. So my son will be an 8th grader, so he will be moving into pre-algebra, and we have decided to go with Dive Math. It is by Dr. Shorman. I think it's commonly known as Shorman Math, and I think it's going to be a really great fit for my son coming out of 7th grade math. Okay, let's talk about science. You guys heard me say that we were making a change with science this year. Let me put all this out the way. We've decided to go with Abeka Science. So what I have right here is the textbook that is for 8th grade. This is Earth and Space Science. He has not covered in depth Earth and space science yet, so this is just fantastic. Again, this is the student text right here, and then I have the activity and STEM project book right here as well. I do also have all of the teacher stuff. I did purchase the quizzes and the tests to go along with it. He's in 8th grade. I do feel like it's time for us to start moving in this direction as he prepares for high school and beyond. I do have right here the answer keys for the section reviews. Now what's interesting about Abeka is not interesting, maybe more frustrating, but we'll just go with interesting. What's interesting about Abeka is they sell everything separately. So this is all test, quiz, and answer keys for section review and the activity manual. But what you do not see here is I did not buy the teacher books because they were not very affordable, but after looking at everything, I am pretty confident that I can come up with my own lesson plans. And listen, I don't say that in a boastful way, but now after having a few years under my belt, I'm confident that I can come up with my own lesson plan and they will serve him just well. Okay, let's move on to history. If you watched our end of the year curriculum review videos, I did share a little bit of a spoiler. You already know what's coming. For 8th grade, we decided to go with the World Story 3, The Modern Age. So this is the student text right here. I also have the teacher's guide right here. Now this is where you're going to find the schedule for the curriculum, and also it comes with numerous review sheets, and they worked really well for my son. I decided to go ahead and pick up this civics activity book from Abeka. It is just a small little workbook. Now it covers national, state, and local studies. It is not thick at all. I think that this is going to be something that's going to be easy for him to follow up after he moves through his core history for his 8th grade year. Okay, let's finish up this video with electives. What I do not have to show you are the sports that he is involved in. He does play football. That usually starts about July and it goes all the way to the end of October. And he also shoots archery. That is a winter sport, so that usually starts in November. Now, some of the other electives he will be doing for 8th grade: logic. I have Master Book's Introduction to Logic. This is the student text right here. And then I also have the teacher's guide right here. Again, they just include a schedule and student worksheets. Next up, I have the Thinking Tree, all about money, business, and economics. I'm really excited about this. I'll try to flip the camera around just so you can see the table of contents, but it's broken up into 3 parts. You have part 1, understanding money; part 2, understanding the way people make money, government, and taxes; and then you have understanding basic economics. Now there is a part 4, but they are just topical research projects. And what's really cool, some of the topics that he will be studying and researching are the Great Depression, the Spanish flu, World War II, the Great Plague, and then lastly, the COVID-19 pandemic. So the idea is, after he has gone over everything there is to go over about money, he is to take that and apply it to these research topics. Okay, I have another Thinking Tree activity book right here. This is the Life Skills activity book, and the reason why I picked this one up, I found this one impressive as well, but there are only 36 life skills. Yes, there are only 36 life skills, so my idea is he can work on one of these a week, and it will probably be Friday. But just some of the things that I was impressed that are taught in here are meal planning, writing a thank you note, how to have a conversation on a phone, how to start a small business, what do you do when you meet new people, how to study for a test, how to have a morning routine, time management, how to schedule an appointment, how to make a cup of tea, how to have a garage sale, how to tie a tie, just to name a few. So I thought that these were really timeless and necessary life skills, and I'm really excited to have him jump into this. Okay, his last elective, my rising 6th grader will be doing this as well, a watercolor around the world, and this is by The Good and the Beautiful. So I just went ahead and picked up 2 sets. You get the instructor's book, and then you get the template sheets. I'm going to tell you why in just a minute, why I went with this. But this is fantastic. This instructor's guide tells them step by step how to work through each watercolor project. But what I really love about this are the template sheets. And the reason why I love the template sheets so much is because the picture's already there. All the students have to do is use their watercolors to paint the picture. So I think that this is going to be fantastic for both of my children, and again, this is going to be something that they do together, and I'm going to have them do this on Friday. Okay, last but not least is handwriting. His cursive is fantastic. He prefers to write and print, but I just don't want him to lose that skill. So I went ahead and picked up this, it's called a journal. I picked this up from christianbooks.com. So he will just be writing out every verse from the book of Mark. I picked the book of Mark because the book of Mark is the shortest out of all 4 gospels, and I'm just gonna have him write probably 2 to 3 verses a day in cursive. Okay, friends, this is what my rising 8th grader will be doing for the 2023-2024 homeschool year. I hope that you found this video helpful. Thanks for stopping by. Please share with me in the comments if you will have an 8th grader for the upcoming homeschool year, and if you have purchased any homeschool curriculum or if you have used any of these things. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time.